Hey guys, this is NahLammers of Invoked 101. Welcome back, and today I'm doing a deck profile that I've been hyping up through the community posts for quite some time. Finally got the last piece I needed for it last night, so it's all done. This is Thunder Dragon. I've been eagerly awaiting this deck profile and getting it together for you guys. So I do have some shout outs for this. Big shout out to JB. He ended up selling me his collection, so we got a whole bunch of new deck profiles and such for you, and one of those decks was the vast majority of this. Shout out to Warren for hooking me up with a few of the last remaining Thunder Dragon cards I needed, as well as helping me playtest and build the deck and finding a build that I found that I like. And then shout out to Gara for hooking me up with the final Colossus. So with those out of the way, real quick, down in the description, there's a link to our Patreon if you feel like supporting the channel, and there's also a link to our Teespring if you feel like getting yourself some Invoked 101 merch. Anyways, without further ado, we're going to get right into the deck profile, setting these spells and the extra deck off to the side. Alright, so the first thing we're playing, of course, is Triple Thunder Dragon, just the OG one. It says if you can discard this card to add up to 2 Thunder Dragon from your deck to your hand. That means this guy specifically. After that, we're playing Triple Roar. Thunder Dragon Roar is pretty good. He's one of the better ones. And so each of the Thunder Dragons have 2 effects. They have an effect when they have a discard effect, and then they have a if it's sent from field or banished effect. So Roar's effect is you can discard this card, add to your hand one of your Thunder Dragon cards that is banished or in your graveyard except Dragon Roar. If this card is banished, sent from field to graveyard, you can special summon one Thunder Dragon monster from your deck in defense mode, but return it to the hand during the end phase. You can only use one Thunder Dragon Roar effect per turn and only once that turn. So you only get to pick one effect off of each, but that's fine. Next up, we have one of the quick effect ones. This is Thunder Dragon Dark, and his quick effect discard, because his is a quickie, is that you could add 1 copy of Thunder Dragon Dark from your deck to your hand. Then his banished effect or other effect is that if he's sent from field to grave, or banished, you get to add a Thunder Dragon card from your deck to your hand. So that's pretty good. And then we have Thunder Dragon Hawk, which is in a weird spot. It's pretty good, but it's also one of the weaker ones. I would say that Hawk is one of the weakest Thunder Dragons in the deck. Its effect is its discard effect is that you get to revive a banished or in the grave Thunder Dragon, which is pretty cool. But its banish effect, or if it's sent from field to grave effect, is that you can take any number of cards from your hand and shuffle them into the deck and then draw the same number of cards. So it's not super great. And then for the last 3 of Thunder Dragon, we're playing Triple Matrix. No supers here. But it has a quick effect discard to target a Thunder Dragon monster, or no, 1 Thunder monster you control, and give it 500 attack permanently. Then it has the, if it's sent from field or banished, it gets the effect of adding a Thunder Dragon Matrix from deck to hand. So this is the other quick effect one, so and that's relevant. This one and the Dark are relevant for another card that we'll talk about when we get to the extra deck. That's it for the 3 ofs, and then for the 2 of guy, I play 2 duo. Duo, I opted to play 2 duo because I just felt that having the second one would come up, so I opted for 2 of them. So its effect is cannot be normal summoned or set, must first be special summoned from your hand by banishing 1 light and 1 dark monster from your graveyard. Once per turn, if a monster effect is activated in the hand, this card gains 300 attack until the end of this turn. When this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can banish 1 card from your graveyard, add 1 thunder monster from your deck to your hand. Once per turn during the opponent's end phase, you can target one of your banished cards, place it on the top or bottom of your deck. So he's pretty good. Just not as he, of course, having to set up the graveyard is a little tricky, but being able to banish them and trigger their effects is pretty good. And that's it for the Thunder Dragon guys. Moving into the other support, we have Triple Battery Man Solar, which has the effect of if this card is normal summoned, you can send 1 Thunder monster from your deck to the graveyard. If a Thunder monster is normal or special summoned, while this monster is on the field, special summon 1 Battery Man token, Thunder Light level 1/0/0. You can target 1 Battery Man effect monster you control or in your graveyard. this card's name becomes that monster's until the end phase. You can only use each effect of Solar once per turn. So that's not really what matters. The part that matters is summoning the token and the sending to grave. So both of those matter. So hopefully I won't crack the camera anymore. But yeah, so we played 3 of him, and then we're also playing triple Dimension Shifter. So Dimension Shifter is another really cool card that came out of the Megatins that works extremely well with Thunder Dragons. Its effect is, if you have no cards in your graveyard, quick effect, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard until the end of the next turn. Any card sent to the graveyard is banished instead. So he helps a lot. I believe it's like a Solar and Dimension Shifter is like full combo. It equals like 3. It's like Titan and double Colossus. It's pretty nuts. And so here's a choice that I opted to play, and I think I'm gonna stick to it, especially after I played a game last night. I'm playing 2 Loof Lupin. This guy is a Beast Dark level 4. So the reason I wanted to play this was because like I had been looking at deck profiles before, and I had been seeing people either playing Solar and Lupin, or 3 Lupin, 2 Solar, 3 Solar, 2 Lupin, and but then Shifter came out, and a lot of people cut the Lupin. So last night I played Guru. Subterra Guru control, and my opponent simply just lost because he didn't have Aloof in his deck, and I had There Could Only Be One. So I'm opting to play the Aloof Lupin because it does give you an extra body in case you do get There Can Only Be One. Granted, it's not searchable, but I'm gonna keep opting to play it right now. So Aloof Lupin has the following effect, which says, if this card is normal summoned, when this card is normal summoned, you can banish 1 monster from your hand, banish 1 monster from your deck with the same type as that monster. If this card is destroyed by battle, or if this card in its own possession is destroyed by opponent's card effect, you can target one of your banished monsters, add it to your hand. You can only use each effect of Aloof Lupin once per turn. So there we go. It's pretty okay, but not as good as it once was. And that's it for the monsters. Moving into the spells and traps. I'm playing triple Thunder Dragon Fusion. Just Thunder Dragon Fusion is pretty insane. You could play 2 if you really want to, but this card is awesome and sets up for your next turn so its effect is fusion summon 1 Thunder Fusion monster from your extra deck by shuffling the fusion materials listed on it into the deck from among your cards on the field, in your graveyard, and face up banished cards. During your main phase, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard, add 1 Thunder monster from your deck to your hand. So that's pretty good, as it searches any Thunder monster. After that, I'm playing triple Allure. I know some people say play 2, but I like the 3 just for extra draw. And since Thunder Dragons want to be banished anyways, this banishes, so no real point not to. Triple Instant Fusion. This is for obvious reasons. This is to get the... what's this called? The Thousand Eyes or the Kiminari attack to go into some summoner. Or if you need it, Colossus, you could do that. And then for the one-of spells I'm playing, I'm main decking 1 Super Poly. I would definitely side the other 2. But yeah, main decking the 1 Super Poly, I just made a call there to do that. I haven't had time to super hardcore test this deck, but I definitely like the 1 Super Poly in the main. It makes me feel a little more comfortable. Of course, the God card's Gold Sarcophagus. This card is really good. It's definitely a nice backup plan because what you can do is you attempt to do your Thunder Dragon stuff, and then you Gold Sarc after if you get hand trapped. So Gold Sarc is definitely really good to have. And then, of course, Monster Reborn. There's a lot of really powerful monsters in this deck, especially from the main deck. So like this can help you get a Roar or a Dark back and then do more plays. It's really good. And then I'm only playing 3 traps, and that's triple Dino-Mishcus. This is just main deck outs to stuff. It's discard. It doesn't really trigger any of the things, but it is a really good just out to things. So yeah, definitely the Dino-Mishcus was a good opt-in. And that's it for the main deck. I do believe it is 40. And moving into the extra deck, which I'm actually not sure how many cards it is. But the extra deck I'm playing, of course, triple Colossus. You have to play 3 Colossus. There's really no way around it. I was playtesting it with 2, and there was times where I needed the 3rd. There was a lot of times where I needed the 3rd. So yeah, definitely triple Colossus. There's no way that you can't play triple Colossus. After that, I play double Titan. Titan is definitely a good 2-of. I don't suggest playing 3, but yeah. So what Titan does is if a Thunder monster's effect is activated in hand during your opponent's turn, you get to pop a card, and then but it's a win, so it can miss timing, so you got to be really careful about it. But yeah, Titan is definitely a really good card to include at 2. And then we have our instant fusion target, Kiminari attack. This is just to continue plays to get into some Summoner, or into the Colossus. So then we also have Starving Venom for our Super Poly target, and our other instant fusion target, which is the Thousand Eyes Restrict. And that's it for the fusion monsters. Into the links. Link Kuriboh, of course, for the Thousand Eyes Restrict. Basically, to steal something, make Link Kuriboh, and then you have an arrow. So, pretty good. Nightmare Unicorn to spin stuff. Nightmare Phoenix to pop stuff, because this deck does kind of struggle against back row. So, but you don't really need Cerberus because you have plenty of stuff. Like, you're big enough that you can swing over just about anything. Land Phalanx. This could be a Lambda, and honestly it should be. I just don't happen to own a Lambda, so Landfo is where I'm at. I'm playing 2 Summoner. This guy is really good. He's the Thunder Link monster, and you can basically just, what you do with him is you make him, you put a Colossus here, you put a Titan here, and then you turn him into Colossus over here. So that's what you do. And then the last card I'm playing is Blackluster Soldier. This card is awesome. You have a lot of you have a lot of ways to make this guy and get into more stuff. So the fact that, like, and you have the levels to make him unaffected by things. So he's one of the best options this deck has, at least going into the extra deck. And that's really it. I do think, so that's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, so that's 15. All right, I didn't know if it was 15 because last night it wasn't 15. You could cut a Summoner if you're scared about like and play a second Super Poly target if you really want to. Something like a Duplexer probably, or even Mud Dragon could also work in this deck since a lot of them are darks. But yeah, so. That's really it for my Thunder Dragon deck. Side deck stuff, if you want like a side deck recommendation, it really depends on what you're playing against, but I definitely think that the more Super Polys, like siding into the second and third Super Poly is really good. Red Reboots, Nibiru's, potentially even Dark Ruler No More. But yeah, so I think those would all be pretty good options. Anyways, oh yeah, a lot of people like to ask how much does a deck cost. This one would probably run you, I have no clue. I know the Colossuses are like 10s, and since it is a meta-relevant deck, it's definitely going to be on the higher end. I know that the duos are pretty cheap, the matrixes are pretty cheap, but when it comes to darks are like 4s. Hawks, I have no clue, but it did recently get printed out of the tins, so hopefully that will help the price. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. One more time, down in the description, there's a link to our Patreon if you feel like backing the channel. There's also a link to our Teespring down in the description if you feel like checking that out. And also tell me what you guys thought about this deck in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.